Welcome to Stellar Sleep Tales, the channel where your nights turn into cosmic journeys and your dreams take you beyond the edge of reality. If you've ever wondered what lies past infinity, tonight you're going to find out. But before we dive into the depths of the universe, make sure you subscribe, because here, every story is a gateway to a place you've never imagined. Imagine this. You open your eyes, expecting the familiar ceiling of your bedroom, maybe the morning light creeping through the curtains. But instead, you see nothing, not darkness like the one you know on Earth. This is deeper, heavier, an absolute void. And in that infinite darkness, there's only one thing: a faint, pulsating blue light floating in the distance like it's calling your name. You don't feel your bed under you. You don't even feel the floor. In fact, you realize you can't feel anything at all. No warmth, no cold, no gravity. It's like your body is suspended in a weightless ocean of silence. You try to remember how you got here. Was this a dream, a side effect of falling asleep too late, or something else? The blue light pulses again, and with every pulse, it grows a little larger. You're not moving toward it, it's moving toward you. And as it comes closer, you notice something disturbing. It's not just light, it's a doorway. A doorway made of pure energy, rippling like the surface of water. Your heart races, and an unshakable question forms in your mind. Where am I? More importantly, how did I get here? You try to move your arms, to swim through the void, but they don't respond. Yet somehow, without your control, you're drifting toward the doorway. You can't look away. You can't stop. A strange thought flashes in your mind. What if I'm not asleep at all? The doorway opens wider, and you see stars swirling inside it, like a galaxy compressed into a single frame. Somewhere deep inside, you feel that stepping through it will change everything you've ever known. But the bigger question is, do you even have a choice? The light engulfs you, and that's when you hear a voice, not from outside, but inside your own head. Welcome, traveler. You've slept past infinity. The phrase sleeping past infinity might sound poetic or abstract, but here it's something far more literal and dangerous. Imagine the act of sleeping not as simple rest, but as opening a portal. Every time you dream, your mind detaches from the normal flow of space and time. Now imagine if, during one of these dreams, your consciousness slipped too far, beyond time, beyond reality, past infinity itself. In theoretical physics, time is not just a straight line. It's woven together with space into what's called the space-time continuum, a fabric that can bend, stretch, and even fold. Think of it like a giant cosmic sheet. Normally, you're just lying on one small spot on that sheet, experiencing time second by second. But what if you could fold the sheet, skip across it, or even tear through it entirely? Here's where it gets unsettling. The human mind might be capable of brushing against these folds during deep unconscious states. Most people just pass through dreams harmlessly, but a rare few, whether by accident or some unknown trigger, go further. Pattern interrupt. Imagine you close your eyes, take a short nap for what feels like 1 minute, and when you open them again, 100 years have passed on Earth. The city you knew is gone. Your friends and family are long dead, and the world is unrecognizable. For you, only a moment passed. For the universe, an entire century. That's the strange reality of extreme time dilation, a concept predicted by Einstein's theory of relativity. In certain conditions, such as traveling close to the speed of light or being near a massive gravitational field like a black hole, time moves differently for you than for someone far away from that field. Here's the part most people don't realize. You don't have to board a spaceship to experience something similar. Your mind is a complex quantum machine, constantly processing information, storing memories, and generating realities that feel real. When you sleep, your brain detaches from its normal sensory input and creates an internal reality. Most of the time, that's just a dream. But sometimes, the brain may accidentally sync with patterns in the fabric of space time, shifting your awareness into a different temporal frame. This is why the idea of sleeping past infinity is terrifying, because it suggests there's no limit to how far you could drift. In infinity, there is no morning to wake up to, no alarm clock, no return ticket. And now, let's circle back to the voice you heard in the void. The fact that something spoke to you implies you're not alone here. But is it real, or is it a construct of your mind trying to make sense of what's happening? Is this a dream or a physical journey happening outside your body? Could your consciousness actually be traveling through the universe while your body lies still on Earth? The answer might be hiding in what's beyond that blue doorway, but for now, that remains a mystery. Before you can decide, the void around you begins to shift. The darkness isn't empty anymore. Far in the distance, you see swirling shapes, galaxies, nebulae, and something much larger, something pulling everything toward it. You feel an invisible force dragging you forward. You realize with a cold certainty that you are falling, not through space, physics, but through time itself. And somewhere in the infinite black, the voice speaks again. You've crossed the threshold. Now, the journey begins. The moment the voice fades, the void around you begins to warp. Shapes stretch and twist, as though reality itself is bending under some colossal weight. Then you see it, a dark sphere suspended in the cosmos, darker than the void you just came from. This is no ordinary darkness. This is a black hole. At first glance, it seems small, almost deceptive in its calmness. But as your perspective shifts, you realize it's massive, millions of times the mass of our sun, yet so compressed that nothing, not even light, can escape it. Around its edge, a ring of fire blazes, the accretion disk. This ring is made of gas, dust, and shattered stars, all heated to unimaginable temperatures as they spiral toward oblivion. Your ship, if you can even call it that, is silent. There's no hum of engines, no vibrations, just a smooth, unstoppable drift toward that dark sphere. You can't see the controls, and you can't remember ever taking a seat here, but the panoramic view in front of you feels more real than anything you've ever seen. The black hole's edge glows with distorted light. This isn't a physical surface, but the event horizon, the point of no return. Once you cross it, nothing can escape, not even information. Time, space, and physics themselves are warped beyond recognition. You remember a lesson from long ago. Einstein's general theory of relativity predicted that massive objects bend the fabric of space time. The more massive the object, the stronger the bend. A black hole's mass is so concentrated that the bend becomes infinite. Imagine the universe's fabric stretched into a funnel so deep that it disappears into nothing. That's where you're headed. From your current distance, the view is breathtaking. Stars far behind the black hole seem to smear an arc around it like streaks of paint on glass. This is gravitational lensing, light being bent by the intense gravity, allowing you to see stars and galaxies that would otherwise be hidden. It's beautiful and terrifying. Pattern. Interrupt. Imagine, for just 1 second, you could see your future, not in vague flashes or dreams, but every moment, every detail, all at once. Would you want to know? Because here, near the event horizon, that's not just possible, it's inevitable. Here's why. As you approach the black hole, time for you slows down relative to someone far away. If someone were watching you from a safe distance, they'd see you moving slower and slower, as if trapped in a cosmic, slow motion frame. But for you, time feels normal. In fact, you might look back and see the rest of the universe speeding up, stars forming and dying, galaxies colliding, civilizations rising and falling, all in the span of a few moments. This is time dilation in its purest form. Near the event horizon, you're caught in a war between your personal time and the universe's clock. It's a war you can't win, because the closer you get, the more the universe races ahead without you. Your ship edges closer, and the accretion disk now fills most of your view. Streams of matter swirl at near light speed, glowing in every color you can imagine. Flashes of radiation cut through the black, invisible but deadly to any physical life. You feel heat, but not on your skin. It's in your mind, as if the black hole is radiating knowledge rather than energy. The voice returns, calm but resonant. Most fear the fall, few understand the threshold. You glance ahead. The event horizon looms like an invisible wall. There's no sign marking it, no sound announcing it. But your instincts scream that once you cross, everything will change. Your mind races with questions. What happens inside? Do the laws of physics break down? Is there another universe on the other side? Or is it truly the end, an eternal freeze in a place where time ceases to exist? Open loop. Inside the black hole lies a truth no one has ever returned to tell. The answer is waiting, but to find it, you must cross the horizon, and once you do, you can never go back. Your ship drifts forward, the edge is seconds away, and then the universe outside begins to blur. The moment the universe outside blurs, something unexpected happens. The bright swirling accretion disk of the black hole fades away, not into pure darkness, but into a strange dim glow, as if the cosmos has been stripped of its light. There are still shapes around you, but they aren't like the galaxies and stars you know. These are outlines without detail, shadows without a source. You feel weightless, drifting through what looks like an infinite ocean, except there's no water here. There's no sound either, not even the faint hum of your own breathing. You open your mouth instinctively, but there's no sensation of air. You try to listen harder and realize that the silence is so complete it's almost deafening. Then it hits you. You are floating in a place made almost entirely of something invisible, something that cannot be seen with the human eye, yet makes up most of the universe. You've entered the domain of dark matter. Scientists have tried for decades to detect dark matter directly, but it refuses to show itself. It doesn't emit light, it doesn't absorb light, and it doesn't reflect it. In every telescope humanity has ever built, dark matter is completely invisible, and yet it's everywhere, surrounding galaxies, binding them together like a hidden skeleton. Without it, the universe as we know it would fall apart. Pattern interrupt. Everything you see in the night sky, every planet, every star, every galaxy, is only about 5% of the universe's total content. The rest, dark matter and dark energy. Think about that for a second. 95% of the universe is invisible to you. We're basically blind, living inside a reality we barely understand. From the viewpoint of your drifting ship, the scene around you starts to make sense. You see galaxies in the far distance, but they look like they're wrapped in faint halos, gravitational distortions caused by massive amounts of unseen matter. These halos aren't just decorative, they're the reason those galaxies exist at all. Without the gravitational pull of dark matter, their stars would scatter into empty space. The voice speaks again, soft and deliberate. You are swimming in the unseen ocean. Every step you've ever taken was guided by forces you could not feel. You try to reach out, but your hand passes through the invisible medium without resistance. There's no texture, no pressure, yet somehow you know it's there. Your mind registers a faint tug, not on your body, but on your thoughts, as if something here is aware of you. That thought unsettles you. Could dark matter be more than just a physical component of the universe? Could it have patterns, intelligence, even consciousness? What if the reason we've never found it is because it doesn't want to be found? You remember reading about gravitational lensing, how scientists detect dark matter indirectly by observing the way it bends light from distant stars. But here, from inside this ocean, you see it directly in a way no human has ever seen. Streams of matter weave like invisible rivers, currents pushing and pulling on cosmic structures. Some flows are slow and steady, others twist violently, like storms in a sea without waves. The silence grows heavier. You realize there's no way to tell how fast you're moving, or if you're moving at all. The scenery doesn't shift like it should in normal space travel. Instead, the entire environment feels alive. Suspense grips you. The thought forms again. What if dark matter is a living entity, an organism so large and diffuse that it stretches across the universe, using galaxies as cells and stars as neurons? If that's true, then you're not just traveling through it, you're inside its body. And if you're inside, it might be aware of you in ways you can't comprehend. Ahead, in the invisible depths, you sense movement, not the random drift of particles, but something deliberate, something coming closer. The question is, will it welcome you or consume you? The movement ahead becomes clearer. From the depths of the dark matter ocean, a shape emerges, not solid, not liquid, but something in between. At first, it looks like a swirl, a twist in the invisible medium. Then it begins to glow faintly, a pale white light that grows brighter with each passing moment. It isn't a star, it isn't a galaxy, it's something else entirely. As you watch, the swirl stretches into an oval, its edges rippling like liquid glass. You can't see what lies beyond it, but the distortion is obvious. It bends the light of distant stars in a way that creates a circular halo. You know this shape. You've seen diagrams of it before in science books and documentaries. It's a wormhole, a theoretical tunnel in space time that connects two distant points instantly. For centuries, wormholes have existed only in mathematics and science fiction. Albert Einstein and Nathan Rosen first described them in 1935, calling them bridges in the space time continuum. The idea is simple in concept, but impossible to confirm. Space is not flat. It can be bent, folded, and connected in strange ways. A wormhole would be like folding a piece of paper so that two distant points touch, then poking a hole through them so you can step directly from one point to the other. The thought is intoxicating. In normal space travel, reaching the nearest star system beyond our own would take tens of thousands of years. A wormhole could make that journey instant. No fuel, no years of waiting, just one step. But as your ship drifts closer to the swirling oval, you remember something else. The same equations that allow wormholes to exist also suggest they could be unstable. They might collapse the moment you enter. Or worse, they might not connect to where you expect at all. The voice in your head returns. The currents have chosen you. Do not resist. Your instincts tell you to hesitate, but your body doesn't respond. The ship moves forward, drawn toward the wormhole like iron to a magnet. As you near the shimmering oval, the view through it changes. At first, it's nothing but a blur. Then the blur clears into a window, but not to your side of the universe. Pattern interrupt. The stars you see on the other side are wrong. The constellations don't match anything you've ever learned. Planets glow with strange colors, some with green rings, others with triple moons. A chilling thought pierces your mind. Are you already in another universe? The ship passes the threshold. The moment you cross into the wormhole, the world outside twists violently. Colors shift into spectrums you didn't know existed. The sensation isn't like falling or flying. It's more like being turned inside out without pain, your entire sense of direction evaporating. You can no longer tell up from down, forward from backward. The tunnel around you is alive with movement. Streams of light rush past, some in straight lines, others spiraling around you in impossible curves. The walls of the wormhole aren't solid, they're a constantly shifting texture, like liquid metal reflecting scenes that don't belong to your memory. A city made of crystal towers, an ocean under two suns, a mountain floating in midair. You can't be sure if these are real locations or fragments of countless realities bleeding together. Your sense of time begins to collapse. You can't tell if you've been traveling for seconds or centuries. The wormhole doesn't feel like it leads to one place, but to every place at once. For a moment, you see two versions of yourself in the tunnel, one ahead of you, one behind, both moving in sync, both glancing toward you with the same stunned expression. The voice is gone now, but you hear something else, a faint that grows louder the deeper you go. It's not mechanical, it's rhythmic, almost like breathing. You wonder if the wormhole itself is a living structure, a cosmic artery pulsing between dimensions. You try to focus on what lies ahead, but the tunnel keeps changing shape. Sometimes it narrows to a thin corridor of light. Sometimes it expands into a vast spherical chamber where entire galaxies seem to drift within the walls. Each shift makes your body feel heavier, then lighter, as though gravity itself is trying to decide whether you should exist. You notice something else now, a flicker ahead. Not random light, but a rectangular outline, a door. It doesn't belong in the tunnel. It looks almost human made, a solid frame, a faint glow seeping from the cracks. The closer you get, the more certain you are that it's not a hallucination. Your ship slows without warning, hovering just in front of the door. The glow is warm, almost welcoming. You step forward instinctively, even though you don't remember standing up. The door begins to open. You expect to see stars or planets beyond it. Instead, you see a place that makes your chest tighten. It's a street you recognize, the one from your own neighborhood back on Earth. Same cracked pavement, same flickering streetlight, same quiet hum of the night. But something's wrong. The air has a faint silver shimmer. The shadows don't match the direction of the light, and there's a sound in the distance that doesn't belong, a low, resonant tone that vibrates in your bones. Cliffhanger, you take a step closer, peering through the doorway, and realize this is not your world. It only looks like it. The street ahead is familiar in every way that matters. The cracks in the pavement, the way the wind moves the leaves, the faint hum of the flickering streetlight above. But there's something beneath the surface that makes your instincts scream. It's as though the world is wearing a mask, and you're the only one who knows it. You step through the doorway, and the sensation is instant. The air feels heavier, almost dense, as if every breath carries weight. The silver shimmer you noticed earlier clings to everything, buildings, trees, even the sky, like a thin layer of glass. The more you focus, the more wrong it feels. The houses on this street match the ones from your memory, almost. One has an extra window that shouldn't exist. Another has a red door instead of blue. These seem like small differences, but your mind catches each one instantly. This isn't the world you left. This is something else, a reflection. You walk further, looking for people, and soon you see them. A group of children are playing at the end of the street. They laugh and shout, but the sound is off. It's like hearing an echo that's slightly out of sync. As you get closer, one of the children turns to look at you, and your blood runs cold. The child's face is exactly like one you remember from your own childhood, because it is your face. Pattern interrupt. If you met a perfect copy of yourself right now, same voice, same memories, same habits, who would be the real you? The child tilts their head, almost curious, then turns back to the game without another word. You stand frozen, trying to process what you've just seen. Could this be a hallucination brought on by the wormhole? Or is this a parallel universe, a reality where small changes have spiraled into an entirely different timeline? The idea isn't as far fetched as it sounds. The multiverse theory in physics suggests that there could be countless versions of the universe, each with its own set of physical laws and histories. Some might be wildly different, universes with no stars, or with entirely different elements. Others might be nearly identical to ours, differing only in the tiniest details, like the color of a door or the life choices of the people within it. You think about the Mandela effect, the strange phenomenon where large groups of people remember the same incorrect detail about the past. Some recall the name of a famous movie spelled differently, or a historical event happening on the wrong date. Theories often suggest these false memories could be bleed through from alternate realities. Maybe you've experienced it yourself, a memory you'd swear was real, only to find that in this world it never happened. Here, in this mirror universe, the Mandela effect doesn't feel like a theory. It feels like proof. You walk toward a nearby house, one that should be your own. The shape is right, but the mailbox has a name you don't recognize. Through the window, you see a living room arranged in a way you've never had it. And sitting on the couch is you, or at least someone who looks exactly like you. They're reading a book, completely unaware you're standing outside. Your mind races. If this is a version of you from another universe, then what are the rules here? Could you talk to them? Should you? Or would that create a paradox, a collision between two versions of the same existence? The voice returns, almost amused. You see now, every choice you've made exists somewhere else. Every path you did not take is alive in another you. The thought sends a shiver down your spine. Somewhere in the infinite multiverse, there's a version of you who made every possible decision differently. One who never took a certain job. One who stayed in a relationship you ended. One who never heard of sleeping past infinity. You begin to wonder, if these universes are infinite, could there also be versions where you've already been here? Versions where you've already seen the same doorway, stepped through and walked this same street? A movement catches your eye. Down the road, you see another doorway glowing faintly. It's not the one you came through. This one is smaller, almost hidden between two buildings, and it flickers like it's unstable. Something tells you it's a way out, maybe even a way home. But just as you take a step toward it, your other self in the living room looks up. They don't move. They just stare directly at you, expressionless, like they've been waiting. Open loop. You don't know whether the doorway ahead leads back to your original universe or somewhere even stranger. And now you have to decide. Do you trust the exit, or do you trust the version of yourself staring back at you? You awaken again, though you cannot tell if you had been asleep or simply drifting in the folds of a reality you no longer understand. The concept of time feels fragile here, like an old thread on the verge of snapping. There is no sun, there is no moon, there is no movement in the stars above you because there are no stars at all. Only a silver horizon stretching endlessly and a soft hum that vibrates not in your ears, but in your bones. You take a step forward, but the ground beneath you does not feel solid. It is not sand, not stone, not anything you can name. Instead, it feels as though you are walking on the surface of thought itself. Somewhere deep inside, a realization forms. You have stepped into a place where time does not flow. As your mind struggles to anchor itself, you remember the wormhole, the mirror universe, and that infinite pull towards something you could never name. It all feels connected now, as though each strange event was leading you to this moment. You glance around, searching for some landmark, but the space here is both vast and intimate at the same time, like standing inside the smallest room in the world and the largest universe at once. Your pulse quickens. A thought brushes across your mind, not from your own consciousness, but from something watching you. Then, without warning, a figure materializes, not walking, not flying, not approaching, just existing suddenly where there was nothing before. Its shape is impossible to describe with full accuracy. It is tall, yet it doesn't seem to have height. Its body appears solid, yet you can see through it as if it were made of glass filled with living galaxies. Where a face should be, there is only shifting light, like the glow of countless distant suns. You try to speak, but before your lips move, you hear a voice inside your mind, gentle, resonant, and layered, as though 1,000 versions of it are speaking in perfect harmony. Welcome, it says, to the space beyond time. We are the timeless ones. Your breath catches. Who? What are you? You think. The being tilts its head slightly, almost in amusement. We are what your kind might call higher dimensional life. We do not live in time. We live around it. The answer shakes something deep within you. All your life, time had been an unbreakable law, seconds becoming minutes, minutes becoming hours. But here, seconds do not exist. Cause and effect are meaningless. Pattern. Interrupt. The being's voice echoes with a strange question. Would you have a conversation where your question is answered before you even ask it? The thought jolts you, your mind races. What does that even mean? But before you can respond, you realize it is already happening. The being begins to answer questions you have not yet spoken. You are wondering if this is a dream. It is not. You are wondering if you are dead. You are not. You are wondering why we brought you here. You will understand, but not yet. A cold wave of confusion hits you. How can they know what you are about to ask before you even form the thought? The being continues without pause. Time to us is like a painting. We see the entire picture at once, past, present, future, every possibility, every outcome, all existing together. To us, your life is not a line, but a tapestry. You try to picture this, but it is impossible. For humans, the future is a mystery, the past is unchangeable, and the present is all you can truly experience. But to these timeless ones, everything exists simultaneously. They are not just in the now, they are in all nows. You feel a weightless sensation, as if your body is drifting upward without moving. More figures appear in the distance, though distance feels meaningless here. They simply come into being around you, forming a circle. Each one is different. Some look vaguely human, others are so alien that your mind struggles to process their shapes. Yet you sense they are all connected, all part of the same consciousness. One of them speaks, not with sound, but directly into your thoughts. Your journey was not an accident. You were guided here because you crossed thresholds no human has crossed before. You have seen the wormhole. You have glimpsed the mirror world. You have stepped beyond the pull of time's current. Few of your kind have done this and returned with memory intact. You open your mouth to ask why they care about you, but again, the answer arrives before the question. Because you are a bridge, you exist in a moment that connects countless others. You are a point of choice that could alter the paths of many realities. The words strike you with an almost physical force. You are just one human. How could your choices matter on such a cosmic scale? Another being steps forward, or perhaps it does not step at all, simply shifting reality so that it is suddenly closer to you. Its form changes as you look at it, sometimes a sphere of light, sometimes a tower of shimmering energy, sometimes a figure cloaked in shadow. It says, "You are thinking about fate. You are wondering if everything is already decided. The truth is, some moments are fixed, but most are fluid. Your kind mistakes the river for the ocean." The meaning sinks in slowly. If time is like a river, then maybe certain rocks in its path can never be moved, but the water itself can flow in many directions. Perhaps your life and the lives of billions are not entirely predetermined. Perhaps there are still choices to be made. The first being speaks again, its voice like a calm vibration in your skull. You are here to see the truth beyond the human frame. You are here because soon a decision will be placed before you, a decision that will ripple across timelines. The statement sends a chill down your spine. You want to ask what the decision is, but instinct tells you they will not answer. Not yet. The circle of beings begins to shift. They do not move their legs, if they even have legs, but the space itself changes, rearranging like the inside of a kaleidoscope. The silver horizon bends into a spiral, and suddenly you are standing in what looks like a vast chamber made of starlight. In the center, a column of pure white energy rises upward until it disappears into infinity. This, says one of the timeless ones, is the axis of possibility. It is the core of all timelines. Every reality you could live, every choice you could make, branches from here. You feel drawn toward it, though you are unsure if you should touch it, or if touching it might tear you apart. Another being leans closer, or at least you sense closeness. In your reality, time is a cage. In ours, it is a landscape. You can walk it in any direction. We have seen your birth. We have seen your death. We have seen the moments you will change and the ones you will fail to. The words weigh heavy on you. To them, your entire life is already visible. You feel both small and infinitely important. Why show me this, you think? And again, the answer arrives without pause, because you must choose whether to remain bound to your single thread of time or to step into the weave. The phrase echoes in your mind. Step into the weave. What does it mean? You imagine walking through different versions of your own life, slipping into worlds where you made different decisions. Worlds where everything you know is both familiar and strange. The timeless ones fall silent. You realize they are waiting, not for you to speak, but for you to understand. But before you can form a complete thought, something shifts in the chamber. A shadow flickers across the axis of possibility. The beings turn, their forms dimming slightly. One of them approaches you, closer, closer, until its face of shifting light is inches from yours. Then, in a voice deeper and more resonant than before, it says something that freezes you completely. It says your name. You stagger back, stunned. You have never told them your name. You have never met them. And yet, they speak it with perfect clarity, as though they have known it for eternity. Your heart pounds, but before you can react, the being adds one final sentence. We have met before, but not in this life. The silver horizon begins to ripple violently, and the ground beneath you disappears. You feel yourself falling, not through space, not through air, but through possibility itself. And then, nothing. You find yourself drifting again, this time through an endless expanse that defies all comprehension. The space around you stretches infinitely, a vast emptiness pierced only by distant glimmers of light, so faint they seem almost like memories. You have traveled through wormholes, crossed event horizons, and glimpsed alternate universes, but nothing prepares you for this. You are approaching the edge of the universe itself, the very boundary where reality begins to unravel. The concept of the universe having an edge is itself paradoxical. For centuries, scientists debated whether the universe is infinite or finite. If it is infinite, then how can it have an edge? If it is finite, then what lies beyond its boundary? Your journey brings you face to face with this profound mystery. You sense that the boundary is not a physical wall or barrier, but something far more subtle and elusive. As you drift closer to this edge, space seems to lose its usual dimensions. Distances warp, time slows, and light itself behaves strangely. Stars behind you grow dimmer, while new, unfamiliar lights flicker ahead, like fireflies trapped in a jar that stretches endlessly. You realize you are witnessing the universe's edge, a place where the fabric of space time thins and frays. The silence here is absolute. No sound, no vibration, just the infinite stillness of cosmic emptiness. The silence presses on your mind, forcing you to confront your own existence. You ask yourself, what does it mean to be at the edge of everything? If this boundary marks the limits of the universe, then what lies beyond it? Is there a greater reality, another universe, or simply nothingness? Pattern interrupt. Imagine standing at the edge of all that exists, staring into the void beyond. Now ask yourself, if you reached the universe's end, what would be waiting on the other side? Would there be more, or would you fall into oblivion? You push forward, drawn by curiosity and the faint glimmer ahead. As you move closer, the faint lights resolve into a glowing sphere suspended in the emptiness. It pulses softly with a warm, golden light, casting no shadows but illuminating the void around it. This sphere feels alive, not just a thing, but an entity with purpose. You realize, with a mixture of awe and dread, that this glowing sphere is recording. It is capturing every moment of your life, every thought, every memory, every action, and storing them within its radiant core. You feel exposed, as if your very existence is laid bare inside this cosmic orb. The sphere seems to respond to your gaze. It pulses stronger, sending waves of energy that ripple through your consciousness. You suddenly understand that this is no ordinary object. It is the universe's archive, a living memory that records all that has ever happened within its bounds. Your mind races with questions. If this sphere contains your life's record, then does it also hold the records of every being in the universe? Could it contain the histories of countless civilizations, the rise and fall of stars, the birth and death of galaxies? You feel a pull toward the sphere, an urge to reach out and touch its glowing surface. But something holds you back, a sense of reverence and fear. To interact with this cosmic archive might change everything you know about existence. As you hesitate, the sphere projects images directly into your mind. You see flashes of your earliest memories, moments of joy, pain, triumph, and failure. Each memory shines brightly, like a star in your personal galaxy. The sphere shows not only your past, but potential futures, paths you might take, choices you might make. This revelation overwhelms you. The sphere holds not just a static record, but a dynamic map of possibilities. It is alive with the energy of time and choice, a cosmic database where every moment is preserved and every future is imagined. Pattern interrupt. If your life is recorded in this sphere, does that mean you are trapped by your past? Or can you rewrite your story by choosing a different path? You realize that standing at the edge of infinity is more than a physical journey. It is a journey of understanding. You confront the question of free will versus destiny, of whether your path is predetermined or open to change. The sphere pulses once more, sending waves of energy that wash over you like a tide. You feel connected to everything, past, present, and future. Time seems to collapse, folding around you in layers. You sense that this moment, standing at the edge of the universe with the glowing sphere, is a threshold. Suddenly, the sphere begins to open, not like a door, but like a flower blooming in slow motion. From within its core, a brilliant light expands outward, illuminating the void and revealing glimpses of worlds beyond comprehension. You step forward, drawn into the light, unsure of what awaits. The edge of infinity is not an end, but a gateway. A new chapter in the cosmic journey is about to begin. The universe is a grand stage for creation and destruction, and nowhere is this more dramatically evident than in the life cycle of stars. These massive balls of glowing gas are born in clouds of cosmic dust, burn for millions to billions of years, and ultimately die in ways that are as mysterious as they are spectacular. To understand the secret beyond the death of stars is to peer into the very heart of cosmic evolution, a story of energy, transformation, and rebirth that echoes through the fabric of space and time. Stars live their lives by burning fuel in their cores, primarily hydrogen atoms that fuse into helium, releasing enormous amounts of energy. This energy pushes outward, balancing the inward pull of gravity. For the majority of a star's existence, this delicate balance holds. But eventually, the star exhausts its fuel. What happens next depends on the star's mass. Some stars die quietly, shrinking down to a white dwarf, while others explode violently in supernova. A few collapse further into neutron stars or even black holes. The most dramatic end belongs to the supernova, a cosmic explosion so bright that it can outshine entire galaxies for a short time. When a massive star runs out of fuel, its core collapses under its own gravity, and the outer layers are expelled into space in a violent blast. This explosion releases more energy in seconds than our sun will in its entire 10 billion year lifetime. The remnants of these explosions enrich the universe with heavier elements like iron, gold, and uranium, the very stuff that forms planets and life itself. But what happens after this explosive death? One possible fate of the core is to become a neutron star, an object so dense that a sugar cube sized amount would weigh billions of tons on Earth. Neutron stars are spinning remnants composed almost entirely of neutrons, the neutral particles found in atomic nuclei. Some of them emit beams of radiation, acting like cosmic lighthouses known as pulsars. Their magnetic fields are trillions of times stronger than Earth's, and they challenge our understanding of physics under extreme conditions. If a star is not massive enough to explode as a supernova, it may instead shrink into a white dwarf, a dense, hot core left behind after a star like our Sun sheds its outer layers. Over time, this white dwarf cools and fades, becoming what scientists theorize as a black dwarf, a cold, dark stellar remnant no longer emitting visible light. Black dwarfs are theoretical because the universe is not old enough for any to have formed yet, but they represent the final stage of many stars. These processes are not just cosmic events happening far away, they are part of a greater cycle of matter and energy. When stars die, they release material that will one day become new stars, planets, and possibly even life. It's a story of cosmic recycling, where death leads to new beginnings. This brings us to a profound question. When we die, do we simply become part of this endless cosmic cycle? Are we, in a way, recycled stardust, forever connected to the universe's grand narrative? Pattern interrupt. Think about this. When your body ceases to function, when your consciousness fades, what happens to the atoms that make you? These atoms have traveled through stars, planets, and countless cosmic events. In death, do we become just another part of this ongoing cosmic recycling? Are our lives absorbed back into the universe's vast story, becoming seeds for future creation? The truth is, stars and humans share more than we realize. The elements that make up our bodies, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, were forged in the hearts of ancient stars. When those stars died, their material scattered across space, eventually forming the solar system and everything on Earth. Our connection to the stars is literal and profound. As you contemplate this cosmic bond, your journey leads you to a crossroads, a pathway illuminated faintly ahead. This path promises to take you beyond the death of stars, beyond the end of cosmic cycles, into the very origin of everything. It is a journey few have imagined, and even fewer have traveled. The path glows softly, inviting yet mysterious, leading you toward answers that may change your understanding of existence itself. This secret beyond the death of stars is not just about endings. It is about transformation, continuity, and the timeless dance of creation and destruction. It's a story written in light and shadow, matter and energy, time and space. And now you stand at the threshold, ready to step into the next chapter of the universe's greatest mysteries. The cosmos is a magnificent theater of endless cycles, with stars as its most radiant actors. They are born from clouds of gas and dust, shine brightly for millions to billions of years, and ultimately meet their end in dramatic and varied ways. To understand the secret beyond the death of stars is to uncover the cosmic truth about transformation, renewal, and the ultimate fate of matter and energy in the universe. This journey takes us deep into the heart of stellar evolution, supernova explosions, neutron stars, and the theoretical black dwarfs, revealing the powerful forces that drive the cosmos and hinting at profound questions about life, death, and existence itself. Stars begin their lives in stellar nurseries, vast clouds of hydrogen gas and dust scattered across galaxies. Gravity pulls these clouds together, causing regions to collapse and heat up until nuclear fusion ignites in their cores. This process fuses hydrogen atoms into helium, releasing enormous energy that counterbalances the crushing force of gravity. For the majority of a star's life, this balance between fusion energy and gravitational collapse holds, giving the star stability and allowing it to shine steadily. But all stars face an inevitable fate. The hydrogen in their cores eventually depletes, forcing the star to burn heavier elements in a series of complex nuclear reactions. These later stages are shorter and more unstable, especially for massive stars. Once the star runs out of fuel to support fusion, the balance tips. Gravity takes over, and the star's core collapses. The outer layers may explode violently outward, or the star may quietly shrink and cool. The death of massive stars is often marked by a supernova, one of the most powerful and spectacular events in the universe. A supernova explosion releases more energy in seconds than the sun will emit over its entire lifetime. During this explosion, the star's outer layers are blasted into space, creating stunning remnants of gas and dust that glow for thousands of years. This explosion also creates many of the heavier elements in the universe, elements essential for life, such as iron, calcium, and uranium. The core left behind after a supernova can become a neutron star, a remnant so dense that a single teaspoon of its material would weigh billions of tons on Earth. Neutron stars are composed almost entirely of neutrons, subatomic particles that have no electrical charge but immense mass. Some neutron stars rotate rapidly and emit beams of radiation from their magnetic poles, known as pulsars. These cosmic lighthouses sweep their beams across space with incredible precision. For stars smaller than about 8 times the mass of the Sun, the story is different. They will eventually shed their outer layers in a less violent process, leaving behind a white dwarf, a dense, cooling stellar core composed mostly of carbon and oxygen. White dwarfs no longer produce fusion energy and slowly radiate their remaining heat over billions of years. The universe is currently not old enough for any white dwarfs to have cooled into black dwarfs, the theorized cold, dark remnants that mark the ultimate death of these stars. This cycle of birth, life, and death of stars is more than just a cosmic process. It is a grand recycling system where the matter expelled by dying stars seeds the formation of new stars, planets, and eventually life. Every atom in your body was forged in the heart of a star long ago. The iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, the carbon in your cells all come from stellar furnaces. This connection binds humanity to the cosmos in an intimate and unbreakable way. Pattern interrupt. Consider this: when a star dies, its matter returns to the universe. When we die, our bodies also return to the earth and beyond. Are we part of this endless cosmic recycling? Does our essence become stardust, carried across time and space, forever part of the universe's ongoing creation? This reflection brings a humbling perspective. Our lives, though brief in the cosmic timeline, are part of an eternal flow. Death is not an end, but a transformation. The particles that once made up your body have traveled through stars, planets, and cosmic phenomena for billions of years and will continue their journey long after you are gone. Yet the secret beyond the death of stars extends even further. It points toward the origin of everything, the mysterious forces and conditions that sparked the birth of the universe and continue to drive its evolution. Your journey brings you now to a threshold where the life cycle of stars merges with the origin of all matter and energy. Ahead, you see a path glowing faintly, winding through the cosmic landscape. This path does not merely represent the fate of individual stars, but symbolizes the flow of energy and matter from the birth of the universe to its distant future. It is a journey into the unknown, a voyage to the root of existence itself. As you step onto this glowing path, your mind expands with questions. What is the nature of this cosmic recycling? How did the first stars form from the primordial soup of the early universe? What mysteries lie beyond the death of stars, waiting to be uncovered? You recall the Big Bang, the explosive birth of the universe nearly 13.8 billion years ago. From a single point of infinite density and temperature, all space, time, matter, and energy emerged and began to expand. The early universe was a hot, dense plasma of particles and radiation. As it cooled, atoms formed, Then clouds of gas collapsed into the first stars. These first stars were massive and short lived, exploding as supernovae that seeded the universe with heavier elements. The death of these early stars set the stage for galaxies, planets, and life. It is a chain of cause and effect, linking the distant past with the present and the future. Understanding this chain reveals the secret beyond death, that endings are inseparable from beginnings. The matter released by dying stars is the raw material for new creation. Your path glows brighter, guiding you deeper into the cosmic story. You see vivid scenes unfold before your eyes. The formation of nebulae from supernova remnants, the swirling dance of gas and dust collapsing into protostars, the ignition of nuclear fusion that sparks new light in the darkness. Each scene reinforces the profound truth that the universe is in a constant state of flux. Nothing is ever truly lost. Instead, energy and matter transform, moving through cycles on scales both vast and intimate. Pattern interrupt. Imagine the universe as a grand symphony where stars are notes that rise and fall, their deaths creating melodies that lead to new harmonies. If this is true, then every moment of existence is connected to every other, forming a cosmic rhythm beyond comprehension. The path leads you toward a vast nebula, a glowing cloud of gas and dust, illuminated by young stars within. This nebula is a stellar nursery, a place of hope and renewal. You sense that here lies the key to the universe's secrets, the continuous dance of death and rebirth. You step into the nebula, feeling the radiation wash over you. Though the environment is harsh and hostile, it is also alive with energy and possibility. You see clumps of gas condensing, spinning faster as gravity pulls them inward. This is the birthplace of future stars, planets, and perhaps life itself. As you watch, you realize that the secret beyond the death of stars is not just about matter and energy. It is about the flow of information, the transmission of complexity through time. Every explosion, every collapse, every new star carries forward the legacy of what came before. The universe remembers. It records the history of creation and destruction in the very atoms and energies that compose it. This cosmic memory is a testament to the resilience and continuity of existence. Your journey brings you to the edge of the nebula, where a faint light pulses in the distance. Approaching it, you find a cluster of dead stars, neutron stars and white dwarfs, remnants of past cosmic cycles. Their silent presence reminds you that all things must end, but also that endings are portals to new beginnings. You sense the enormity of this truth. The secret beyond the death of stars is a promise that transformation and renewal are woven into the fabric of reality. The universe is not static or finite, but dynamic and eternal, constantly evolving through cycles of life and death. As your mind absorbs this revelation, the glowing path ahead brightens once more. It leads you toward a shimmering gateway, a portal to the unknown. Beyond this gateway lies the origin of everything, the source from which all matter, energy, and life emerged. You hesitate only briefly before stepping through. The light envelops you, carrying you beyond space and time into the mystery that lies at the heart of the cosmos. Open loop. What awaits you beyond this gateway? Is it the answer to the universe's greatest questions, or another beginning to a journey that has no end? The path forward is unclear, but your quest for understanding continues. The secret beyond the death of stars is but one chapter in the infinite story of the universe, and now you have crossed into the next, ready to uncover what lies beyond creation itself. As you step beyond the glowing gateway, the overwhelming light slowly fades to reveal an expanse unlike anything you've ever known. It's not space as you understood it before. No stars, no galaxies, no familiar dimensions. Instead, you find yourself immersed in a realm where existence and non existence blur, where the boundaries between time and space dissolve. This is the origin, the source from which everything, the universe, stars, matter, and life itself, emerged. You sense a profound truth here. The universe is not a random collection of events, but a coherent, unfolding story that began at this very point. Here, past, present, and future are one. The secrets you've chased through black holes, wormholes, and mirror universes converge here, revealing the cosmic web that connects all things. You realize that the origin is less a place and more a state of being, an eternal now where creation continues without beginning or end. It is the ultimate paradox, the Alpha and Omega intertwined. Every moment you have experienced, every choice you've made, every mystery you've uncovered leads back here. Your thoughts drift to your journey. Was it all a dream, a fleeting vision born of sleep and imagination, or have you truly glimpsed the universe's deepest secrets? The line blurs. The knowledge you carry now is unlike any you've ever possessed. It has transformed you. Pattern interrupt. Imagine waking up from a dream that felt more real than reality itself. How do you distinguish between the dream and waking life when both challenge your understanding of existence? You remember the first moment of the journey, the man waking not on earth, but floating in endless darkness, with only a faint blue light to guide him. Now, as you stand here at the origin, that initial image feels like a fragment of a larger truth. Your entire quest has been a passage through the layers of reality, peeling back the veils to reveal what lies beneath. The universe has shown you wonders and dangers, mysteries that defy logic, and truths that challenge your very perception of self. You have seen black holes warp time, crossed through wormholes into alternate realities, and encountered timeless beings who exist beyond human comprehension. You have witnessed the death of stars and the promise of rebirth encoded in cosmic cycles. Now, the question remains, will you return to your life, forever changed but grounded in familiar reality? Or will you stay here in the origin where time and space lose meaning and infinite possibilities await? This decision weighs heavily. Returning means carrying the wisdom of the cosmos back to the world you knew, sharing insights that could alter everything. Staying means embracing the unknown fully, becoming part of the eternal flow where new universes might be born and endless exploration is possible. Your heart races. The pull to return to those you love, to the familiar comforts of earth, is strong. Yet the allure of the infinite, the chance to exist beyond the constraints of mortal life, is equally powerful. You feel the universe's heartbeat, a rhythm that connects all things, from the smallest particle to the vastest galaxy. This pulse invites you to remember your place in the grand cosmic story. Before you make your choice, the timeless beings you met earlier reappear. Their forms shimmer like light through a prism, and they speak without words. Their message is clear. Your journey is your own. Neither path is wrong. Both are part of the cosmic weave. Whatever you choose, your consciousness will ripple through all realities. You take a deep breath and begin to move toward the path that calls you most. Time, as you once knew it, no longer holds sway. Your decision is both an ending and a beginning. Outro. The journey continues. If this story has stirred something inside you, made you pause and wonder about the vastness beyond our everyday lives, you are not alone. The universe is full of mysteries waiting to be uncovered, stories yet to be told, and secrets that challenge everything we believe. Our journey through the darkest corners of space and the edges of time has only just begun. The questions raised about black holes, alternate realities, the origin of existence, and the fate of stars are not mere curiosities. They are keys to understanding who we are and where we come from. And if you feel this story pushes you to think deeper, to question more, then stay with us. This channel, Stellar Sleep Tales, is your gateway to exploring these cosmic mysteries together. Each video is crafted to take you on a journey beyond the familiar, opening doors to wonder, awe, and understanding. So, if you want to continue this adventure, to travel through space, time, and beyond with us, subscribe and join our growing community of curious minds. Your presence here means the universe is not so vast after all. Together, we explore the infinite. Remember, the universe is listening. Every question you ask echoes through the cosmos, and every answer is a new beginning. Thank you for being part of this journey. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep wondering, and keep looking up.